Well, we started 10 years ago with this idea that deep learning, which was brand new back then, would be the key to predicting consumer behavior. And we have seen that sort of borne out of the last 10 years. The last few years, we've really heard a lot about large language models like GPT, which is the foundation of ChatGPT and things like that. But remember, deep learning started as how do we talk to our computers and our phones? How do we get self-driving cars? That's all about big data prediction. And that's what we do, and that's what we bring to advertising. We've been doing for the last 10 years. So we've evolved because we have a better understanding of web pages and content overall in the marketplace because of things like LLMs. But the underlying idea that all of this big data is going to help predict consumer behavior is still the same.
What's one of the biggest misconceptions you still hear about in terms of when it comes to AI and advertising, and how do you work to reframe that narrative?
I think that there's a lot of very new talk about AI. And I think there's a lot of bandwagoning in any big part of the industry. So I think the question that advertisers need to ask themselves is, do they own their AI? Has it been brought from the ground up into this space? I think the thing that sets Cognitiv apart is that we started from the ground up as a deep learning AI company, and everything we built is based on this new technology. We haven't had to retrofit our capabilities and our products with the newest deep learning.
Every brand is at a different stage in their AI journey. How is Cognitiv meeting advertisers where they are while still pushing the boundaries of what's possible?
I think the great thing about Cognitiv is that we have a little something for everybody, depending upon what they need from AI. So we have our oldest product, which is a managed service DSP, where they can bring their own KPIs. Some organizations need to use curation, though, because they have hands-on keyboard in their own DSPs. And then for brand awareness, we also have this newest product, Context GPT, which helps them find their audience wherever they are in their stages. Finally, we have the analytics and the understanding of the customer that we can then hand back to them and help them with the next stage of their advertising.
AI in advertising has come a long way, but where is it going next? What role do you see deep learning playing in shaping the next decade of innovation?
So I think we see a lot of conversation about this already. And we have a lot of talk about all the pieces of the industry where AI is going to be involved, from planning to execution to analysis. All of those things are starting to see AI seep in. There's a lot of talk about agentic AI helping understand the world for the brand marketer. But in the end, they still need to be able to execute the buy for the media. And I think that's where we're going to see a lot more work being done from the algorithmic perspective that's outside of this idea of large language models, which is only one part of AI.
Lastly, with so much change in the advertising landscape, consumer behavior, privacy expectations, technology in general, what do you think advertisers need most right now, and how is Cognitiv meeting that need?
I think we've definitely entered into a phase of advertising where advertisers really need to find the signal in the noise. It's harder and harder to be efficient. There is this idea of a performance plateau that we've gotten to. And I think that's what they're really looking for. And that's why we built Cognitiv, because we believe that deep learning is that key to breaking through that plateau, to finding scalability and enabling them to take it to the next level.
How has Cognitiv's vision evolved as both deep learning and the marketplace itself have matured?
So we've been doing this for 10 years now. We started the company with the hypothesis that deep learning coupled with the big data advertising would be better than anything at predicting consumer behavior. We've seen that borne out of the last 10 years, and we've evolved as a company because deep learning has evolved. But in the end, we're now the leading advanced performance provider powered by deep learning for the industry. We've also used that technology to take on some more social impact things, like the website morepositive.ai. That website is an interesting offshoot of our Context GPT tool, where as a buyer of advertising, we actually have seen all of the web pages that exist out there. And because we're using advanced AI, large language models and things like that, we actually understand the sentiment of every page. And so we wanted to deliver something that people could enjoy on a daily basis, and none of the sort of sad things that might be happening in their lives. So we have morepositive.ai, where we highlight the most positive articles on the internet.